Founded in 2009 by brothers Josh and Mike Greer as an animation and digital content creator, Ember Labs' vision is to create immersive and evocative stories with characters that resonate and worlds that inspire. I've never seen the mission statement for a studio match the content that they've created in such a nearly perfect way as I have after getting my hands on Kena Bridge of Spirits. I've had my eye on this game for a while. I'm a big lover of characters and stories and worlds that draw you in. I want to go on a journey when I play video games. This is why I play video games. So as soon as it was released, I gave it about 4 hours of my time before I just had to get to bed. And let me tell you, it is an absolute gem. This studio is going to be the next one that Sony acquires. And I'm saying that because they match Sony's vision so clearly with their own about creating characters and worlds and these large single-player experiences. I don't know of any other platform holder that they would match so closely and so perfectly than Sony. So right from the start, I was paying attention to things like graphics, animation, just the overall presentation. I know this is considered an indie studio, but again, the level of detail, especially between the in-game cutscenes and then going into the actual gameplay, there is almost a 0% distinction between both. The level of detail, the animation of the main character and these other characters in the world is astounding. If this is their idea of AA, I don't know what this studio's idea of AAA is going to be, because this is as close to AAA as a AA I've ever seen. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't issues that I noticed, but again, this is not a huge studio, and this game is better presentation-wise, just gameplay and mechanics and graphics-wise, than some of those bigger studios have put out. Unbelievable level of detail and story. From the PlayStation blog, Ember Labs says they're very excited to share their first game with the world next week. This is their first game. Let me tell you, this is a statement from this studio. We are here. This is an unbelievable first effort. In the game, you play as Kena, a young spirit guide who travels to an abandoned village in search of a sacred mountain shrine, and who must help the wandering spirits trapped there. The original character designs were created by Wachana Vic Instra Combat. He was a close collaborator on our commercial projects in the past, but this time they say he had a blank canvas, and we can see so much of his charming and unique view on the world in all of the character designs. They say that animation is the key to the way that the character's personality is conveyed. The scope of the game and story was much larger than their past projects, they say, and it presented an exciting challenge in creating expressions with more emotional range and depth, and that had the right warmth and compassion for our hero. While many animations across the game, we created a library of expressions and other details like hand and hair poses. This provided a fast way to refine and unify animations and ensure that Kena always felt inhabited by the same soul from beginning to end. Giving life to all the wonderful pieces of her character design was important to us, and we put a lot of care into the movement of her clothing and hair. The wind in her hair became an element throughout the game, simply as another layer to invoke the feeling of being in a village inhabited by spirits or on a mountain peak. While we used physics on other characters in the game, every aspect of our main character was animated by hand. Trust me when I tell you, this level of commitment to detail is something you don't see a lot in many games, and playing this game, the main character's animations are stellar. That's something that stands out, something that I noticed early on, and then finding out that each of the intricate details of this main character were animated by hand is just astounding. And again, this is their first game. They go on to say that they iterated quite a bit over the course of the project, adding finer textures and exploring alpha card techniques that are used and seen in other incredible games before. For the hair, they eventually found a blend between solid geometry, which could give very clean shapes and clear shapes and catch light nicely, and alpha planes to show the detail of individual hair strands, providing some more variation and imperfection. Similar attention will be given to the clothing, adding different fabric types, and even some worn edges. This studio's first effort is just monumental. I cannot believe that they have been sort of overlooked. And again, overlooked, it's their first game, but the animations that they've done in the past, and if you look up this studio, they've worked with quite a few people doing animations. But again, learning the craft, coming together and creating their first effort like this studio is not going to be independent for long. I am going to make a guess that Sony is building a relationship with this studio, and I cannot imagine anyone at Sony taking a look at this game and saying, we need this studio. The worlds that they create, the vision that they have for the industry in terms of the type of content that they want to create matches our own company's vision so clearly that we've got to purchase them. Now, this game is sitting at an 85 Metacritic. The first effort, 85 Metacritic. This is an unbelievable game. Again, I don't give review scores, so I'm just going to talk about my experience with the game in the 4 hours that I've played it. And in that amount of time, everything from the presentation to the writing to the animation to the world to the characters to the story to the gameplay feels so unique, fun, and inspired. This is a game that you have to buy if you're a fan of what video games can do in transporting you to new worlds, telling new stories with new characters. And I'm so happy that PlayStation wants to continue to foster these types of experiences and highlight these type of developers. Let me know what you think in the comment section below if you've played this game. Think about sharing this video out on your favorite social media platform of choice. At the very least, hit the like button. It helps me grow the channel, and I will see you in the next video.